tired and weary have laid their bodies down.
let it be done.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everyone? What's going on? Welcome to the Mic Council on Heritage Hip Hop. And if you see the flyer that's on the screen, you know what today's topic is. Today's topic is hip hop anti-black? And we're looking at this from the viewpoint of Malcolm Jamal Warner, who has a podcast out right now. But he was on the Monica Pearson show, and he had an interview where he spoke about poetry versus hip hop. And his point was that hip hop is anti-black. It has too much language in it that's low-hanging fruit, and it's too easy, and we're not seeing the best out of hip-hop culture. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of what he said is valid, but a lot of what he said was not. And I want to get your opinion on this. So for everybody that's here, I know my sister's here. Love you. What's going on, sis? Nice to see you. I want everybody to come in, hit the like button first. Please hit that like button. And, comment, share. I would like to see comments today. I would like to talk to you. Hit the comments, hit the like button, share. I want as many people on here as possible. Now, check this out. Facebook and X have blocked this live feed. So I can't go on Facebook anymore, and I can't go on Twitter anymore live. So YouTube is going to be the main thing, and I want to get everybody to YouTube. So please, if you know anybody who likes the content, tell them come visit us on YouTube. I'm going to be going live a little more now. I have a lot of topics I want to cover, from DMX to Tupac, Scarface, Kanye West. I'm still working on that because that's a good show, and I want to take my time with it. And this topic came up out of nowhere, and it was too good not to have a conversation with my people about. And Malcolm Jamal Warner, I would like to play the audio, but I don't want to get flagged any type of way. I'm still working all that stuff out because what's going on, bro? I like to work all that stuff out because I want to get this thing very well done with sound effects and everything. I just got to find the right thing so I don't get flagged, because I already got demonetized on YouTube, all right? But I'm not going to complain about them. We're going to get there. You see this comment was something being pushed and promoted, and that was the point of my conversation. Malcolm Jamal Warner said that he, on his podcast, the Nah podcast, N-A-H, Nah podcast, he said that he stopped listening to hip-hop and people that he loved in hip-hop like J.Cole, because J.Cole uses the N-word and the B-word too much, and it's so easy and it's low-hanging fruit. And by the use of the hip-hop that's being pushed and promoted, that is being used to effectively destroy our community, our culture, and there's nothing being done about it. But that's where I kind of push back, because I have a platform that does something about it. There's other people like Doggy Diamonds, Justin Hunt, the Company Man. There's people, that's just to name a couple. Follow them, for real. I mean, I'm all about following everybody. I'm not a just follow me type person. Get your hip hop information. This is about our culture. But Malcolm Jamal Warner is of the culture, and that's a very good conversation that I've been having with people for a very long time. You have people out here who are arguing who started hip hop. It's gotten to the point where it's disrespectful. You have foundational Black Americans versus Latinos, it says, which is crazy. You have people who say Latinos and Blacks were there from the beginning. Some people say they weren't. Black people did it, and white Spanish people I don't want to be a part of that Moreno shit. You know what I'm saying? So you have different you have different sources and things going around. Personally, that's a New York conversation. Let them argue. What I say is it's Black culture, and we're not going to take away from who or what. Let them have that conversation. I'm not going to say it did or did not start with Latinos and blacks. I know blacks were definitely there because it's our culture. It's called black culture. So I'm going to leave that right there. But what he said very specifically was that the hip hop that's being pushed is destroying our community at high droves. It's being done to the point where it's so easy now to see the destruction that's happening to our people on this level. You see what I'm saying? Like, let me take it like this. He said conscious hip hop is not being pushed, right? And that's something that you really have to think about. And if you look at what it is, the women should be more disgusted by that more than the men. And I'm gonna tell you why. Black men and men of color in this country have been fighting to be heard and to be seen forever. And I'm not going to say things haven't changed, but it's still being put that way, right? And the backbone of our community isn't just our strength, it's the support we get from the women, because the women hold down a very large percent of our culture, 50-50. And when we're cooperative and we work together, it's 100% we're in power, right? But check this out. When you say that the music getting pushed is not doing harm to our culture, who's in charge of the music getting pushed? Are you mad at the music that's being made, or are you mad at are you mad at the music being made, or are you mad at the conditions that produces that music? And the conditions are not just social, now it's economic, where people who are in charge of the labels are pushing this music. How about this? The destruction of a community first comes with the woman, not the man. Because as you see, when you try to destroy a man, women will come to their aid. The people have been so destroyed within our community that they see to destroy a body, you don't attack it from the outside, you attack it from the inside. And that goes with your mental or your spiritual or your physical diet, right? And if you look at the buildup of our community, our diet is based upon the ideals, faith, and the agreement between men and women. Our society has been so destroyed that the men are fighting the women in ways that is unheard of. And it's ridiculous within our community today. To the point where tonight, Kamala Harris, who's running for president, is now Kamala Harris is now running for president, and on her rally tonight, they have Meg Thee Stallion on stage with Kamala Harris. When I think of Meg Thee Stallion, I don't think about an artist. I think about ass, because all she does is shake her ass. She was on the She-Hulk show, and Meg Thee Stallion was on that show teaching the white girl how to twerk as a lawyer instead of anything productive. So Meg Thee Stallion will always be a twerker, an ass shaker, and then that's put on stage with the president, who could be, in a serious title, the leader of the free world. And that's what's being pushed. People have talked about Sexy Red. Sexy Red can't even rap. Sexy Red is a caricature. She's on wrestling. She's at the Jets football stadium on the sidelines throwing money. She got F My Baby Daddy, and that's being pushed, right? Ice Spice is being pushed. Ice Spice was just on a platform where she was asked to freestyle, and all she did was twerk. So I guess her ass was supposed to talk because nothing else happened. There was no rhymes. So you have this, right? But then you have a female MC who was amazing called Rhapsody. Rhapsody does not get any play in the mainstream consistently. They only play it because the album came out and should get played for like 1 or 2 weeks, and that's it. But if you have somebody that's shaking ass or going crazy, oh, that's everywhere. Because number one, sex sells, true, but then you have to have a balance. And Malcolm Jamal Warner did have a point. If it's being pushed and is negative, is it anti-black? In many theories it is, but who's pushing the envelope? Because it's funny how in the world with social media and media is the prevailing thought of these idiots out here that don't think. You would think that's reality. People live through their phones and people live through their screens more than they live their real life. Because if real life really existed the way it is on that phone, if that social media world was real life, that means no American women want men. Every man's going to fly overseas and be a passport bro. Every woman thinks a man has to make 100K up to 500K. One stupid ass girl said a man has to make $6 million a year to be with her. And another woman said, they asked a woman, what do you bring to the table? She said, nothing, 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 nothing. And they said, what does a man have to do to be with you? And she said, pay my bills, which means she's not a responsible woman or adult. And she brings nothing to the table. So if we're supposed to live agreeing to this, that means our society is doomed and the culture that we're in is anti-Black. But see, here's the fallacy or the wrong part of what Malcolm Jamal Warner is talking about. Hip-hop is not music. Hip-hop is our expression from God to give him the glory. Whether you want to agree with me or not, come on the platform and debate me. I'm willing to battle you, believe me. But rap is the music. Hip hop is the culture. And rap music is primarily a business tactic to make money off of us. And it's when we inject hip hop music into the rap music, then we have our underground and mainstream conversation. You have your KRS-One versus your whoever's popular now that really I don't really care to listen to, you know. And I don't have to just use KRS-One. You have Kendrick Lamar, which borders both, who's eloquently showing the world how to expose someone who doesn't really believe in our culture as to someone who lives this culture and gives a damn about his community, not just the culture itself. So there are people out here who's doing conscious music. Now, being pushed is different because now the landscape of music has changed. Shout out to my brother Jarnell, because he talked about how Leo Cohen was on the Breakfast Club. And Leo Cohen talked about how he basically destroyed the industry. You know, culture vulturing, as people would say. I don't really like that term, but you got that. And you talk about the 360 deals and the things that were put in to destroy the culture, right? How these people who are artists cannot make money, and to be paid by the industry, they have to do what is told by them in the industry to get on. And it's funny because it happens to mainstream artists too. This past week, Rakim just came out with his new album, correct? Called God's Network, The Rebirth. When Rakim wanted to record with Dr. Dre wanted him to make music about killing people. Rakim said, I don't get down like that. So he left. It took 13 years later for Rakim to put out the album, for him to say what he wants to say and do the production he wants. Come on, like you don't find that interesting? That Dr. Dre is one of the people that we revere when it comes to hip hop, but Dr. Dre's catalog primarily is about sex, misogyny, drug use, and murder. Billy Danza MOP once said, we're going to get to a point where people are going to get tired of that. And even though MOP has contributed to it, when you mature and you go into something different, you will see that balance is necessary. Salute to Billy Danza, OG, one of my favorite MCs of all time. Right? Hip hop only being 50 years old, we're starting to transition to see the maturity of the people we looked up to as greats now become elder statesmen, and now they're leading the way to have people think a different way. As my brother says, sex and violence sells. Of course, this is America. This is America. So in America, of course, sex is going to sell. What's that damn movie about a pretty woman? That was about a prostitute who finds love with a guy, right? That's sex. What about what's the shade of gray? That was even a novel that was about sex. So yes, that's going to sell. And violence, the most successful movie in America, the most successful movies in America have some sort of violence. The movie that was dubbed the most important movie in the history of America by Franklin Delano Roosevelt was The Birth of a Nation, which is about the makings of the Ku Klux Klan and why Black men should be eviscerated and eradicated from this world. Think about that. Think about the graphics in the Matrix when you fight. Think about Star Wars with lightsabers. Think about gunplay when it comes to hood movies or things like that. These are the things that always are brought up when it comes to us primarily, but it's worldwide and especially in American culture. Because if it wasn't for Hollywood, would Goodfellas stories be told? Do they attack the Italians over the mafia and shit like that? Do they? Do they attack the Polish about their underground activities? How about the Japanese, the Yakuza? And I'm not disrespecting any group or anything. I have no connection with that. And even when it comes to our culture, I'm not gang affiliated. I don't know any of this stuff, all right? And I'm not going to disrespect anybody that's into it. But it's funny how when it comes to us, it's always us that's the evil, and the world says, "Oh, see what you said about yourself." But when we talk about the good things about us, everybody turns a deaf ear, and no one wants to hear what the hell we're talking about. Because see, it's funny how everybody wanted to get rid of Public Enemy, X Clan, Sister Soldier, Dead Prez. See, I could go with different things, y'all. It ain't just old school hip hop. Did not get rid of Kendrick yet. J.Cole did it to himself. But it's funny how we always want to, they say we always want to get rid of them so the streets could live and all that negative bullshit can be out there. But we're not attacking the fact that negative bullshit is out there because of the conditions that we're in. Let's go pre-hip hop era. Nina Simone said it is an artist's responsibility to talk about the times in which they're living in. So Marvin Gaye didn't sing about war, injustice, brothers killing brothers. Have respect for your mother, your brother, your sister, and your father, but love your brother. We didn't have that on one of the greatest albums ever made. Billie Holiday didn't talk about how America is eating and lynching black men with strange fruit. So that didn't exist before hip hop. But then they say, well, we didn't have songs about death and murder like we had. Once again, first you buy yourself a shotgun now. Shoot them till they run now. That's not about murder. What about Tears of a Clown by Smokey Robinson? We talk about smiling like Pagliacci. Pagliacci was a clown that murdered his wife, and he painted what's known as the faces of the theater, the happy face and sad face, the Tears of a Clown. That was about that, and it was inspired by the clown that murdered his wife. So even when you think about him being funny about how his emotions, it was still based off of murder. So this stuff is integral in American society. We're not going to play this game that hip hop is the reason for this. And when you say anti-black, well, how? Because if it wasn't for hip hop, where would all these entrepreneurs come from? Where would this music have come that has taught so many people to respect and love themselves come from? So we talk about gangster rap all the time, right? It was called reality rap from the West Coast, but when they put money to it, it's gangster rap. NWA had a song called Express Yourself. Dr. Dre rhymed his ass off. Salute to whoever wrote his lyrics, right? He kind of changed from that because I remember that song. He said, "I manifest, I don't smoke weed or cess because there's known to give a brother brain damage, and brain damage on the mic don't manage nothing." But everybody's smoking weed now, right? I digress. But NWA had a song where you may get all the gangster reality rap, but they still told you to be yourself and express it. Don't be apologetic, but you have the freedom to be yourself. What happened to Redman? Everybody say Redman smoke about weed, how to smoke a blunt. What about the song "What the F Are You Looking For?" Where he talks about police harassing him when he's in his car. We forget about those. Even though rap music and hip hop music does talk about the reality of life that we're living, we still cannot negate that that's not anti-black. Because first and foremost, Malcolm Jamal Warner stands for black men and men of color being expressive. And if it wasn't for rap music and hip hop culture, how would we have been expressive when the world didn't even want us to exist? We talked about the South Bronx. I'm from New Jersey. I don't know only but what they tell me, but I know what I've seen in New Jersey when it comes to people in the inner city not getting money. I've seen them take away things from Newark, New Jersey. Shout out to the bricks. Because I didn't live in the bricks, but I grew up in the bricks. And I can tell you as a professional how the certain schools get more money based on this than anything else, from preschool to high school. And I can tell you, hip hop has always taught us the things that school didn't. And is that anti-black? Malcolm Jamal Warner told a story about when he was in 5th grade, he had a book about Malcolm X on his desk, and the kids laughed at him because they didn't know who Malcolm X was. I went through the same thing. When I was going to St. Mary's School in Newark, New Jersey, in about 4th grade, we had to do a book report for Black History, and I did mine on the Black Panthers. Salute to my brother. My brother used to put me on Eyes on the Prize. If you don't know what Eyes on the Prize is, it's the greatest documentary about Black America from 1955 to 1983, I think. And I did my paper on the Black Panthers, and the kids tried to make fun of me and laugh me out of the classroom and said I made up my book report. The Black Panthers did not exist. And look at today how everybody's making movies about Fred Hampton and all this other stuff. It just goes to show you that hip hop has a power that is bigger than what is seen when we put the right imagery out. Now, he's right about that. The weaponization of hip hop is we're going to shake our ass, we're going to pop some pills, get high, have sex, somebody going to get shot. And that's how the world sees us. Because I saw another interview with an African gentleman from Nigeria who said, when I think of American Black men, I think of homosexuals. Why? Because you have shows like Sisters and all those other shows where the main Black man on the show, one of them is comedy. He's homosexual, and men are kissing men. If you look at most of the commercials in America, the Black men are mostly gay. Not all, a lot of them. Black men are mostly gay. There's nothing about children at all, and you see a lot of interracial relationships with Black women and white men. You see what I'm saying? So we see all that, but we don't see Black men in a power situation. Look at our entertainment. In Marvel Comics, Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom, and he has a rap sheet of crimes. Jonathan Majors, because it touched a white woman. Remember that Birth of a Nation movie, the Ku Klux Klan? The white woman is the most precious jewel. That's the Messiah. Jonathan Majors did not do anything to this woman that would constitute him getting fired. I might get I've been striking for that, but let's just be real. Did he do that much to get fired and be replaced? I don't think he did, but he lost his job. Look at right now, professional wrestling. You got MVP. I don't know if y'all watch wrestling, but MVP is a wrestler. Bobby Lashley's a wrestler. MVP stated that WWE use racist tactics. A lot of people have. They said most Black champions are not serious. They're more comedy. You don't see a Black wrestler to look up to them. They're just there for entertainment. But a white wrestlers, they're different faceted, right? You can look up to them and everything, right? We don't see that. We don't see prominent men, the image of the man being pushed. And when you talk about the weaponization, one way to weaponize something against somebody is to take what is meant for them and turn it against them. And that's that diet I talked about. Let's go to my man Jarnell. He says, I think Nixon had a study done. The state of Black teenagers was affected by the music. Socially conscious music wakes people up. James Brown, Chuck D, etc. You're absolutely correct. Look at the after George Floyd, we gonna be all right, and what that did, how much of an anthem that was. Look at Not Like Us. As much as we say it's a hip hop battle song, think about how he called Drake out for the colonizer type of conversation. It's very deep and profound how hip hop music will be the making and breaking of our culture. Peace, love, unity. And I'm gonna put on a separate hand and having fun. If there's war, there is no peace. If there's war, there is no love. If there's war, there's not unity. So our life is under constant war and there's no peace. And now with the battle of Hispanics, Latinos, Latinas, FBA, if you want to call them that, Black. I don't call myself African American. I don't believe in that. But you can say African Americans, right? If we're going to all fight each other with the world pointing and looking at us, we're not fully being aware of the war that's happening against us if we're fighting each other. And that's the sad part about this. I'm kind of happy he made that quote, but I got to check my brother Malcolm Jamal Warner for something. And I'd love to be on his show. He would never invite me. Most of these podcast people don't even acknowledge that I exist. I don't have the numbers, or I'm not controversial enough. But I will tell you this. Him and Steve Harvey made a point that I really like. And it was that our music is being used to destroy us. But that's when, as a media person, you have to use your stance, your media, your clout to show the world different. There's people out here like Samad Savage. There's people out here like Lau Omalau, and he's very heavy-handed when it comes to his music, right? There's people out here like Nilam. Nilam is a sister from the Nation of Islam who rhymes. And that's just a couple of them, y'all. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here who actually have great music that doesn't have to go that way. Lady London is another one. It's another guy. He has a Will Rap for food sign. I can't remember his name right now, but you see him on Heritage Hip Hop. And if you haven't, you need to be on my platform. So make sure you subscribe to heritagehiphop.com to not miss any of this great content. But yes, indeed. There's people out here that can be found and be put out there. How about I Am God from Chicago? How about Seven the Panther, Edomite Assassin? There's people out there that really give a damn about us and our culture, and we can put them out on the pedestal to combat what is pushed by pushing our own narrative. See, the problem with y'all people out here who always say something's wrong with hip-hop culture is you keep asking people who don't look like us for permission to be hip-hop, when hip-hop was given to you from God. Think about this in this matter. Why are you trying to be the best white man you could be in brown skin? Because if you are being yourself, or you're being true to yourself, I quote Marvin Gaye, uplift your brother. If we're not uplifting to not only give voice to people who feel the same as you, but different about the thing that's out there, whose fault is it that they're not being heard if you have the platform? So this is where I get on Malcolm Jamal Warner, Steve Harvey, and anybody else who says that hip hop is dead, negative, or is anti-black. Because what came from our culture, other people will use against us, but we can save ourselves through our culture. Now, if you're against the N-word and the B-word, hey, I'm not mad at you, because you are in control of your mouth. But if you read the Bible, I think it was Jeremiah, he was the prophet that said that, why would God choose him? Because he has dirty language that comes out his mouth. Now, God cleaned his mouth up when he put the coal on his tongue, and he didn't use foul language. But that just goes to show you that God can use someone from any walk of life to make prominent his message in the world. So why are we disparaging people for the language that we grew up in and not celebrating people for maturity when it comes to elevating and using their skill set, using their talents, and using their purpose to make God's people, his heritage, hip hop? Why are we not helping them to show God's glory when it comes to saving, educating, and giving a chance for our people to be heard? I want you to think about that before I'll come back with the rest of this show. I hope you like what's going on right now. Please hit the like button and share this, and I'll be right back after this message.
Hey, Redman is in the building, of course. Jersey's finest, all about them bars, marijuana smoker. Hey, PSA announcement. I need everybody go support. That's right, support my fucking state, my city. Heritage Hip Hop, a New Jersey media source that celebrates New Jersey hip hop worldwide. Facts. And we are celebrating our legends right here, Jersey, baby. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on social media. That is Heritage Hip Hop on social media. Jersey, you know I love you. Jersey, you know we got bars and we got music and we got legends all day. And if you believe in Jersey and you love Jersey like I do, support that heritage hip hop on all social media platforms. This is Redman, and I approve this message.
Hey man, look, that's hip hop right there. Because not only did somebody with a bigger platform give me that, his face might catch people to who I am. Shout out to Redman for the shout out. But returning to our subject, is hip hop anti-black? Well, is the Confederate flag anti-American? That's a better conversation, don't you think? Because it came from the people who claim to be American. Is that anti-American when people still use that flag and talk about their upbringing? Now, it affects us differently, but instead of turning it against them, we always take it upon us. So my question to you is, how do we effectively take these conversations and flip it to give the blame back to them who started this? Why is nobody attacking the industry? Why is no one attacking, except for Dame Dash? I give Dame Dash credit. But you have people who talk out both sides of their mouths, like Ebro. Shout out to Hot 97. Look, man, I don't go to war with people. I just like to have a conversation. You have program directors who have to pay their bills by playing this anti-black music. But why can't they program something that's supportive of our culture? Why are we not attacking these record labels of people who look like us that promote that music? Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I like a little violence. I'm not gonna lie to you. I grew up in America, and I like competition. I like football. I like boxing. I'm not into guns. That's not my thing, but I believe you should be able to protect your family for real. But keep it real. Those are good stories. I like superheroes. I like the juxtaposition of good and evil because that's what life is about. Now, sex, listen, I like sex too. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's something about a beautiful woman that inspires me more than a man ever will. Shout out to the ladies. But there is a balance because I like to learn as well. And like right now, I'm reading Raekwon's book, From Staircase to Stage. I'm reading Ghostface's book to learn about those men and their journey. One day, maybe might write a book about me. Who knows? But I like to read. I like to learn about. I was reading a book about what happened with the Black people in Nazi Germany. Reading and education is one of the foundations of our culture because that's the part of the culture that was brought up to show the world we mean something and we exist. Thank God for KRS-One. Thank God for Public Enemy. Thank God for Poor Righteous Teachers. Thank God for Dead Prez. Thank God for The Coup. Shout out to the West Coast on that one. Shout out to Goody Mob. Shout out to Wu-Tang because they gave us lessons in the music. They did not just give us beats and rhymes. Because guess what? Some of those rhymes had impact. Some of those rhymes had meaning that we take for granted. And that's something I think we should focus on and not let someone tell us what is anti or what is good or bad. We have to define it with our actions and we have to define it with our principles. What are you telling your kids when it comes to hip hop? How are you getting the next generation ready? Because a lot of people our age, he's 54, he said, a lot of people our age who have platforms are not telling people the truth. They're just talking about hot topics, which I don't do. A lot of people are scared to tell these young men to pull their pants up, talk proper around a woman. Have you taught somebody outside your family how to tie a tie? Or the disadvantages of having sex too early? Or do you tell these young men when you get a girlfriend, cut your finances in half because your girl's going to want half of that? And legally binding, if you with her, the law can take half of your stuff and you got to learn how to navigate as a man with your full income and how to navigate when it's cut in half. Do anybody teach us these things? Everybody wants to run out here and get LLCs and get businesses, right? But who's teaching our children how to effectively manage, count money, use money, or make money work instead of just collecting money and putting it in an account? Who's teaching our children the difference between a credit union and a bank? See, that's hip hop because that's cultural. And part of what pillars of hip hop is entrepreneurialism, which is hustling. And that means you have to know how to use money. And it's sad that in our classrooms, see, back when I was in school, we learned about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X. We forced that. We opened them conversations up. When today, some of the kids don't even know who Dr. Martin Luther King is for Black History Month. And they learned about Black people from other countries instead of learning about Black people from their country. Is that hip hop? Because that's more anti-Black than the music that we're attacking, which goes into the mental health, the spiritual health, and the societal health and PTSD of people that look like us, especially the men who are tortured in this world from the day they're born. Because when you were born as a man, I don't know about y'all, I can speak for myself, but tell me if I'm wrong, all the men that's watching this show. When you were born, you didn't see yourself. You saw what you wanted to be. And then when you looked outside, what you saw did not match what you saw on TV. And now with the dangers of the TV or the monitor, the screen being so instrumental in your life, that now we have children that can go blind and don't know what is reality or what is fake. Is that anti-Black, sir? I'll digress and I ask you a question. Instead of focusing on the problem, let us focus on the solutions and work towards the solution. Be solution focused, not problem driven. Because if you so focus on the problem, you will never solve it. And most times we have to meet our young ones at the table to help them solve the issue, not focus on the problem. I can't do this. Why can't you? Did you try this? Did you try this? Why don't you try that? Try it and see what happens. Let them get their hands dirty, and then let that bring social emotional development, cognitive thinking. Let that grow with them so they know that they're not supposed to depend on others and they can make a way for themselves in this world. See, the problem with the hip hop culture is a lot of us keep waiting for somebody to tell us it's okay to be. Or we let the ignorance reside where our intelligence should stay or live. A lot of negativity lives in our heads and our bodies and our souls rent free because that's what we've been force fed. Especially when people are giving their babies YouTube, when people are letting screens and monitors raise their children instead of them people spending time with their children, people talking and conversing, not conversating, conversing with their children and giving their children the time to grow with us. I hate that in our society, we always have this BS that Black men are not present. When my stepson was in his basketball program, it was always the men that was at the games. Single fathers, though, households with both parents. But we always had this thing that Black men ain't doing this stuff. And to any Black man that's out there that's not raising your children, you are a bitch. Now, you can say whatever you want or whatever. I don't know everybody's circumstance, but if you willingly, let me say this again, any man, Black, white, Latino, I don't care where you're from, any man that's not willing to take care of his offspring is a bitch, and I don't respect you. You are a piece of shit. And take it from someone who always wanted to have and loves children. We're not going to go there to this one, but I'm going to say that when we had to talk about being anti-Black, we're talking about the foundation of our culture. We're talking about the foundation of God within us. Farrakhan put it precisely: as a man or father, a man can, just walk out here and have the male parts. But a father and a father figure is a mentor not only to his own offspring, but to others outside of his blood lineage. Do we have enough father figures, OGs, and men out here playing that role? Because if we don't, then we have a serious problem. But hip hop has always give people respect who goes that route. Shout out to my man D Bridges and his song about his stepfather who passed away. There's people out here who give a damn about this culture. And it's good to have these conversations, but we have to do it the right way on the right platforms. That's why I would love to talk to Steve Harvey. I would love to talk to Malcolm Jamal Warner. And I would love to talk to anybody else who feels that hip hop is so negative, because as a person who took on having pride for this culture and having pride for my people, I will always, and I mean always, be there to fight for you and fight for the ones that's coming up under us. Nephews, sons, grandsons, cousins, nieces, whoever we have. We're here to fight for them because we're supposed to be around for them, not just for ourselves. Do you agree? Let me know what you think. I'm not staying here all night long. I wanted to have this conversation with you because this is what I feel. And thank you to everybody who came into the platform today, or to leaving comments. Shout out to EGC Divine. Glad to see more Real Hip Hop Podcast. Salute. Thank you. And I appreciate that. Please subscribe. Follow me on all social medias at Heritage Hip Hop and share this. When I post stuff on social media, please share it. Let's let the world know that there's more real hip hop podcasts out here than the people who just talk about what happens in the industry, who's having sex with who. And please get these assholes out the culture that ain't really about us. I don't want to call people names out, but you got No Jumper, you got Vlad, you got Bootleg Kev. They're not us. And they don't have the right to define who we are. So I'm just going to put that out there. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure getting to talk to y'all. I'm looking at the side. Please stay tuned because I really want to do this show. The Tragedy of Kanye West is based on a Greek tragedy. We're going to do it that way. I also have a couple special shows coming up. How do y'all like the t-shirt? Heritage Hip Hop merch is available on heritagehiphop.com. As you see, cups, hoodies, t-shirts, all that, you know what I'm saying? And there's different designs, not just this or those. Check out heritagehiphop.com and click on the area where we have clothes and merchandise and stuff. Please, if you like this platform, hit the Cash App, $ Heritage Hip Hop. Thank you to everybody who gave me something for my birthday in the Cash App. I appreciate y'all so much. But before I get out of here, oh man, I don't even have it set up on the computer, and that is my fault. Not being lazy. I just wanted to rush and get this done. I record at home, a lot of noise in the background. I'm just trying to get things, done right for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we lost 2 people in hip hop. If y'all can see this, Chino XL and DJ Polo. I first want to say rest in peace to DJ Polo, one half of Coogee Rap and Polo, Juice Crew member. And I want to say rest in peace to a Jersey hip hop legend, Chino XL, Hispanic rapper, super lyrical beast. Whenever we lose somebody in hip hop, it's very devastating. Thank you, sis. It's very devastating when we have when we lose somebody, because hip hop is a young genre, and the people who rhyme are usually young. So now that we're getting into the age where we see elders in hip hop die, yes, it still hurts because hip hop is very youthful in spirit, but life is life, and we're going to live, and people are going to pass on. So to everybody affected by the death of DJ Polo and Chino XL, family, friends, hip hop culture, hip hop nation, may the Most High grant us peace, and may the Most High accept their spirits. In a world where we're defined by our character, may our moral judgments define our character, and hopefully the Most High will accept us. I don't want to get and talk about heaven and hell. I just want to say, I pray that we make it to the Most High's glory. And with all the mistakes I've made and how this world can make you unhappy, I don't wish any unhappiness or pain on any of you at all. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in to Heritage Hip Hop tonight. May the Most High bless you. And without further ado, I like to say peace. And we out.
Real hip hop. Real hip